Schulte. I'm the Chief Curator here at the LSU Museum of Art, and we are coming to you today from our newly installed European Art and Artist Gallery. And I have with me today Jeremy Simien, who's a fabulous collector here in Baton Rouge. And we wanted to sort of have a discussion with him because, to be honest, this room wouldn't have been imagined in the way that it was installed without the help of local collectors. So Jeremy, can you tell us a little bit about your collection?
Sure. Well, my primary focus is paintings. I would say more specific still would be portraiture. But I have to be honest, I'm a collector and I collect all sorts of things, everything from Betamax to Louisiana furniture to whatever else speaks to me.
Jeremy, can you speak a little bit about this portrait by Pierre Gaubert?
Sure. So when I first saw this, I saw it from a dealer in France. And it struck me that this is not your average portrait of an aristocrat. Because if you look a little closer, you see a lady in the background. And this lady in the background is not depicted as a typical servant. So first off, let's look at her look. The artist paints them, in my mind, with the same attention to detail and same, in some aspects, grace. But there are distinct different features, including this nice head wrap or turban. So that is a marker that she is likely of African descent or East Asian descent. But she's not in depicted in a conventional manner of servitude. Though she is holding the dress, that's something we could see from an equal as well. And she's staring right at the viewer. I love that. In fact, there's a whole dissertation on this work from a Tulane student. So for more interest, take a look at that. And again, the mask on this is fascinating that the lady in blue is wearing. It's called a Moretta mask, and they kind of excuse women from social duty. Typically, velvet had an interior of vellum, which is animal skin, and a string about this big, and a ball at the end of it to clinch between the teeth. So if they were at the market, they didn't want to speak to someone, they would have fixed that, and everyone knew she's excused from social graces. Really love this painting, and from 1720, incredible to have it.
So we're going to move on to the next piece that's included in this exhibition.
Okay.
This work over here is an allegory of Africa from the Circle of Francesco Solimena. So I know when we borrowed this work from you, he had just acquired it. It was a new acquisition. Can you tell us a little bit about what drew you to this piece?
So I'm going to be honest, I'm going to name drop. So a collector of European art, a dealer, who's an expert in Rembrandts named Jan Six, messaged me. And I was actually in the hospital having, not me, but my wife having my son. And here I am bidding at auction for this painting. I really should have had, different priorities, but I needed it. And when I saw it, there were a few things that attracted me to it. One, I found it interesting that it was so early. The original is missing. Okay, so we see you see copies, but you don't see one this early. Also, I found it interesting that the word Africa is not standardized spelling, which again is kind of a testament to an earlier version of this. The lady, we see different versions of how she's depicted, different ways of how she's depicted. In this, she is this kind of beautiful ebony with gray undertones and this sheen. But we see, as the transatlantic slave trade continues on, ideas of beauty, especially when talking about people of African descent, kind of shifts. So it takes on a more European look. And so we see this in her maybe native African look. And I said, I need to have this. And I thought it was a fantastic painting. And I'm sure conservation will reveal more, but it's very, as you can say, it's in displayable condition.
Oh, it's wonderful. And it really gives us a different view into European art that we didn't have represented in our collection. And so again, we're so thankful to have collectors here in town, particularly within the Baton Rouge area, because they're so accessible to the LSU Museum of Art. So before we wrap up, do you have any advice for people out there that are interested in starting an art collection?
The advice is really simple, and it's do it. Don't talk about it. Buy the best you can, okay? And that ranges. Start with something that you have an interest in. You can start broad. Start with 3 or 4 different things, but you really, to be a great collector, you're going to want to narrow down, and you're going to devote and dedicate as much resources as you can, whether that's sweat equity of figuring out or the financial. But that's what I would say. Get to it, do it, keep looking. You will find something.
So what's your next great purchase? What are you looking for?
Oh man, listen.
Without revealing too much.
Oh no, I wish I knew. That's kind of what's fun for me. It's like going hunting, art hunting. They pop up. Right now, it's very exciting. We found a Salazar painting, which was a early painter from the Yucatan Peninsula who painted in Louisiana. And we were just able to confirm that it is a Salazar now that it's being cleaned. And that's not bad for being found in an interior decorator shop in Palm Beach.
Oh, wow. That's a great find.
Yes.
Well, thank you. And be sure to visit the LSU Museum of Art and check out this new gallery. Check our website, www.lsumoa.org, for hours and information.